So, guys, it's David here, and it is currently day 453. So, today I just want to ask you guys that are you really happy with yourself? And I ask you guys this because I have been reflecting on whether I have been authentic, whether I have been living up to my own values and purpose, whether I am chasing my own dreams or am I just living up to someone else's dreams. And I question myself this lately because my actions have not been aligned with my own purpose. And it has been like this. I have been avoiding, I have been procrastinating, and certainly my actions were not in line with how I want to achieve things in life. So I asked myself, David, are you being authentic? Do you really like to code? Do you want to build the application? Or do you just want to be lazy and shove your face with food, sleep on the couch, and just watch Netflix incessantly? I asked myself this question. And I could confidently say that I do not enjoy to be a failure. And I say this because every single time I would sit there, I will just avoid my purpose. I'll avoid my own commitment. That makes me depressed as shit, guys. Yes, it makes me feel at ease because my mind is distracted, whether it's eating food or watching TV. But really, I am depressed when I do that. And therefore, I am being inauthentic when I am avoiding my purpose. But rather, every single time I am working towards myself, every single time I'm putting my best foot forward in the journey of self-growth and self-improvement, I feel animated. I feel like life has purpose towards it. And that is a very clear sign, as if what you are doing right now is in line with your authenticity, or rather you are just avoiding it. Rather, you are trying to fit in or perhaps chase someone else's dreams because you don't have an identity yourself. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should know who they are, but at least you should know how it feels on whether what you are doing feels right or wrong to you. You know, guys, to find a new identity, apart from the one you have now can be quite scary. You know, I was never all big and muscular. You know, I was really fat. And I had body image issues. And because of this, I was bullied at school. But I found comfort in being fat. I like to eat food. I love to indulge in snacks and chocolate. And I was just this fat Asian kid. Now, I knew nothing about the gym. I knew nothing about self-improvement. And therefore, that felt scary to me. And if I was looking back 7 years ago, then the idea of going to the gym, the idea of showing up to the gym will be inauthentic to me because that was not me. I was not comfortable with doing this. So, the least to say, I started my gym journey to fit in. I wanted to do something with my friends. And like all the high school kids you see at gyms nowadays, they go there, hang on the bench press, and just chat. Use that place as a social setting. And to me, guys, that literally was how I started my gym journey. I was trying to fit in. I was not hoping to get extra muscular, although that was the purpose, but my actions were not aligned with my desires. I was just trying to feel a part of something. But over time, as I found meaning towards the gym, as I saw progress, as I got compliments from being more lean and more muscular, then there was some meaning behind what I did. And I slowly changed my habits. I slowly changed my routine. And I slowly got my diet in check. And to this point today, fast forward, if I were to go back and live like I was a teenager, I would feel depressed. And that is because now this is my authentic self. Now I choose to believe this is how I am always because it has meaning behind it. It is something I do for myself. You know, it is quite depressing to say now these days I don't go to the gym with my friends. And quite frankly, I go alone. But that brings me joy. That brings me fulfillment. That brings meaning to my life because this is my identity. So what am I trying to say with this story? Is that we are not born to know who we are going to be every single day. We are not born to know exactly what we are going to become, but rather our identity is shaped over exposures to different social settings, environment, and of course our actions and belief. Now, you may wake up one day like a total loser, still living in their parents' basement and sucking their thumbs when they sleep, till fast forward a few years later, become the hottest guy in the club, with driving the best car and just pulling the baddest bitches. You never know what is going to happen in the future, and quite honestly, your future self, if looking back into your present self, will be cringed at the fact that who you were before, and vice versa. You will not expect who you will become, but if you don't go out and figure out who you can become, then you will always remain the same. You'll always be the same every single day. You won't get to experience this amazing, fabulous feeling of becoming someone totally different and looking back at your life, looking back at your old self, and just have this feeling of cringe, right? It is as if you have leveled up in life, and that feeling, although I'm not sure exactly what word it is to describe it, but it's just that feeling, knowing that you have become someone totally different, is a tremendous experience. So all I can say, guys, is you are missing out if you're playing comfortable. And life is honestly an endless opportunity on who you can become. But that starts with a choice of whether you want to become someone different, or rather you are happy with who you are today. And before I end today's video, I just want to say that most cases, if you are not the best version of yourself today, then you are being insincere with your own happiness. You are content with your current means because you are simply afraid to become better. And that fear will feed into your delusion so that you tend to settle for less. You beguile yourself into thinking that I am okay being fat, that I am okay being poor, that I am okay living like a nobody. Because literally, that is where you accept defeat in life. I'm not saying that people out there are not happy just living a minimalist life. I'm not saying that people out there, who are average looking, who earns an average job, are not happy with their life. They are happy and content because they choose to accept the fact that this is who they are. And that is the only way that you are going to not be depressed and live with the facts it is that life. But that is the only way that you won't be depressed and accept yourself to live with those facts. But I could argue that if you are someone with belief and courage and ambition, then you are never happy with yourself now. And if you're goddamn honest with yourself, then you will see that your situation right now, which not be the best, which may be mediocre at best, is a total shit life to live. But if you are honest, and that is only if you choose to be honest, and a lot of people, because they are afraid to change, because they are afraid to do better themselves, they have to make up this story. They have to mentally accept that life is only going to be as good as now. And therefore, why do I have to get mad? And guys, I urge you, please do not fall for this trap. Because the moment you mentally accept this defeat, then all belief and possibility just seems unattainable. And you make every single day forward from here predictable and boring as fuck. But with that being said, I hope you guys had learned something from this. But if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. But until then, good night.